So, moving on to the next segment of our podcast, Chitwan, you are so active on social media now. You are a social media influencer. One thing which I want to talk about personally, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners would also want to know, and there's a reason why I want to discuss this with you because, the ones who have already reached a certain level, they hardly know what's happening on Instagram now. But I can see your posts where you're constantly trying to figure out what's working, not working. And we'll get into the depths of that. But my first
Yeah.
basic question to you, how do we get more followers? What's the kind of frequency with which we should share content on Instagram?
Well, I'm not an expert, but I can share my experience, what I've
Absolutely.
I've gone through in the last couple of years. I'm sure there are much better and much more knowledgeable people out there who can give you this insight. There is no I mean, what I have learned, and as you mentioned correctly, I've been experimenting with different
Yeah.
types of content and seeing what works, what doesn't work. But that's not the right way to know what works on Instagram as a whole, as a platform. It's the right way to know what works with your audience or your followers. So my learning has been that if you provide these one of these three things to your
Yeah.
viewers, uh, that's a good way to start getting followers. And one of
Yeah.
these three, which is a education, uh,
Hmm.
b entertainment,
Right.
and c an offer. So if any of these
Wow.
three is there as as an action point in your content, then usually it attracts people to follow you. It's all about what kind of value you're providing
Sure.
to the viewer. So when I say education, it could be awareness,
Yeah.
it could be a hack, it could be a lifestyle tip that comes under education. When I say entertainment, it could be a snackable outfit or a dance video. It could
Yeah.
be an acting clip. It could be any entertainment. And when I say offer, it could be anything like a discount offer or anything that gives that, like a giveaway, or anything
Yeah.
that gives something, to the audience. So these are the three things that usually work for getting more followers. And in terms of number of times you post, there is no golden rule to that. You will see a lot
Uh-huh.
of blogs out there
Yeah.
saying you should post once every day or you should post thrice a day, but there is no such rule. I see amazing, very strong fashion influencers out there who post once in 2 days. They're doing fairly well. I
Yep.
see At the same time, I also see a meme page which posts 15 memes in one day, and is still growing at a very good rate. So I don't think there's any rule with respect to that.
And what about you? How frequently do you post? I see you're very active on Instagram stories and you're very active on the posts. What's your schedule like, considering you are partnering with so many brands? You are literally posting a lot of times during the entire day. What's your frequency like?
Well, if you feel that I post a lot, then you probably not follow me that closely. I've actually been a little inconsistent, to be very honest, because I'm not a full-time creator. If I was a full-time creator, I would be posting left, right, and center. But
Yep.
because I'm not, I'm a little constrained in that manner. But what I do in terms of staying regular without having much time is I plan my content really well. So if I know that I'm getting a Sunday to shoot content, then on a Saturday night I will plan out my next 7 days of what I need to post in the next 7 days, including posts and stories, and I will try to shoot and edit and schedule all of that on the Sunday. So that's how I plan my content, and when I'm able to do that, I'm able to post once every day. So when I'm able to do that on a Sunday, and I'm able to plan content for the next 7 days, it works well for me. There are times when I don't get time on Sundays also to do that. So in that case, I try to be a little smart, and then there are some bonus posts from the past that I never ended up using, or there's some
Yeah.
content that I used long back which my recent followers have not seen. So I try to recycle that. So it's a mixture of everything, and thankfully I'm able to post at least once a day or once in 2 days. So yeah, that way I try to keep it at least 3 to 4 posts a week in terms of frequency.
Sure, sure. And I've seen your Instagram account. You are partnering with renowned brands, right? And the number of partnerships is increasing with every passing day. So how does that arrangement work out? Do you reach out to them? And I'm sure they would have already started reaching out to you. How does it work out?
So I've been very lucky in that case. I honestly haven't been able to do much business development on my own when it comes to brands.
Yeah.
But like the brands that I work with, so I you would not see me working with more than one brand per 10 days mostly.
Okay.
That's so I don't work with more than 3 or 4 brands in the whole month because I don't want
Mhm.
to overcrowd my feed with sponsored posts that doesn't give
Sure.
enough value to my followers. So I try to keep it very limited, and to meet that kind of a number, the incoming leads work well enough for me. And sometimes the brands reach out directly, or sometimes they reach through their representation, which is an influencer marketing agency. So it's a mix of both.
What's the future like for social media? I've recently seen your post where you now reached out to people to follow you on LinkedIn, right? And I've
Yeah.
gone through few articles where they say that LinkedIn is going to be the future of social media marketing. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on LinkedIn marketing?
Right. So LinkedIn is technically not a new platform that has come up.
Yeah.
It's been there for quite a while now. It's just that it has converted from just a professional connection platform to a creator platform very recently. So it enables the members to actually also create content and post content, very similar to what Instagram does. But yes, it's more towards business. It's more towards their respective professions and less towards entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's the difference I see. And I've been always active on LinkedIn, but I thought that people who follow me on Instagram, they also might be working somewhere and be having their LinkedIn profile. So why not, get them on the other platform for them to see my other side as well, which is not of a content creator but of an entrepreneur. So that
Absolutely.
was the only objective. And yes, I do see LinkedIn growing a lot, for various reasons, like the kind of content you get to see on LinkedIn is very
Yeah.
refined in terms of what kind of industry information you're looking for. And also from the point of view of anybody looking out for a job, the point of view of anybody looking to network with like-minded professionals of certain industries, it's definitely a great platform. With Clubhouse, I am on Clubhouse. I have an account, but I'm not very active over there because I tried listening into a few rooms 3 or 4 times for experimentation. I just felt that to be on Clubhouse, I just really need a lot of time and patience because
Absolutely.
it's something that like it keeps on going on for hours and hours.
Yeah.
And for a few people it works really well, people who want to understand to how to use their time in a better manner. And sometimes when you talk to somebody, it's when you talk to people and you discuss issues with like-minded individuals out there, it actually helps you with your mental health as well. So some people are using Clubhouse for that, but I
Yeah.
haven't done a very thorough deep dive into Clubhouse yet.
Moving on to the last part of our podcast, Chitwan. It's a rapid fire round. I've tried to keep it as simple as possible,
Okay.
but it's also a
Mhm.
good way to know a lot about you and what you think in a really short span of time. So
Sure.
we start with the rapid fire now. Uh, First one, would you prefer posting Insta stories or Insta post?
It cannot be chosen because posts are for people who are not your followers yet and you want to tap into them, and stories
Yeah.
of are for people who are your existing followers. So there is no choosing between the two.
Sure. Great. Thanks for being diplomatic. Multiple
No,
posts
it's
in.
true. It's
Yep.
true. It's
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. Multiple posts in 2 days with average content, or just single post in 2 days with great content.
Single post in 2 days with better
Okay.
content.
Great.
Yeah.
Uh, Reels versus Instagram post.
Reels.
And if you can share your experience, whatever, the kind of traction you are able to generate on your account using Reels versus post. Anything you would want to share with listeners?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm a part of a program by Instagram, which is called Born on Instagram. It's basically a program which is designed and taught by the Instagram headquarters, the Instagram India team actually, and the IG headquarters. So I'm a part of the second batch, which is born on Instagram Reels edition, and through that I have learned a lot. To how to use reels to generate traction, and why a reel versus a post works better for video content right now on Instagram. It's
Yeah.
because Instagram itself is promoting reels a lot, and you see a lot of reel content on the explore page versus other static and video content. Having said that, some types of content only make sense to the user when they are in long video formats or
Yeah.
when they're in carousel formats, especially awareness related content which needs to be saved and viewed for later. But if it's a short video format, then reels work better than normal post.
Sure. 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 Sounds good.
Yeah.
Great. Moving on to the next one. Uh, Working out in morning or working out in evening?
Evening for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to capture your perspective, would you say that there is no difference whether you're working out in morning or evening, or is there actually an impact uh, when you're working out in morning versus evening?
Both have their pros and cons, to be
Mhm.
very honest.
Mhm.
I personally work out in evenings because mentally I feel better while working out when I've finished all tasks of the day, and
Sure.
also because I don't like waking up early in the morning. So personally for me that works better, but a
Sure.
lot of people work out in the mornings and they feel that it's the only way they want to start their day. But I would say, looking at how what kind of time crunch people face while they're working on, the kind of excuses they give, I would say you work out in the middle of the day, even if it is 1 p.m. in the afternoon, as long as you are working out. So morning evening comes later once you become disciplined enough to at least work out regularly, and then comes the question whether it's morning or
Yeah.
evening.
The last part of the podcast, the last question, which is the most funniest myth about health you have ever come across? Something which was very funny. For example, I've heard
Yeah.
people telling me, please don't eat fruits for dinner. So, the funniest myth you have ever come across when it comes to health and fitness?
There are so many, and this is my most favorite question. There are so many. Uh, the funniest and the most common has to be green tea helps you melt away your belly fat. That has to be the funniest, and a lot of like-minded wellness creators out there in the market have tried to clarify that myth in interesting ways. I try my bit, but that's the funniest. It's not possible for any. First of all, I don't understand what melting fat means. How can something go inside your body and melt fat without you being in a caloric deficit? I just don't understand that. So it's very funny according to me.
No, even I have heard that people saying have green tea. It will help, melt body fat, and you'll be slim in no matter. Okay, great, great.
Well, green tea
One,
has its own benefits, to be
absolutely,
honest. I'm not
absolutely,
against green
yeah,
tea. I consume
yeah,
green tea all the time. It's definitely very rich in antioxidants, and it's a great zero calorie beverage to have through the day. But
but
it
it
does
does
not
not melt
help
fat.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Great. One last message for our listeners, Chitwan, which you would want to share. One key learning, if you can share with our listeners.
Well, I always keep talking about when it comes to your fitness journey, it has to be sustainable. That's it. That's the key learning that I've had. I've had a lifestyle where I was an athlete. I have a lifestyle where I was a corporate slave. I've had a lifestyle where I was partying 4 times a week. I have had so many different types of lifestyle, and the only learning that I can share today with everybody is that stick to something that you know you can sustain for a long period of time, and stop going for trends or fads that help you stay disciplined only for a few days, and then life goes back to your normal unhealthy self. That's the only takeaway that I would want to share as a learning.
Great. Thank you so much, Chitwan, for being on the podcast. I'm sure all the questions you've answered around health and fitness and on social media, I'm sure all of our listeners will benefit out of it. Thank you so much for taking time out, and stay safe. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great week.